Okay, yet one more. So why am I doing this series of videos? Because I guess I'm winding down with just about everything on YouTube. In my life, as far as what my plans are to get beyond all the bullshit, all the accumulative crap that I've gone through on social media. I was listening to, which I don't usually, Steve in Philippines Information Channel. And every now and then he has a moment of clarity and he comes up with some good points. That he's not worried about what the fuck is going on in America, this world crisis. You know, it just comes to a point when you get a certain age. Let the younger people of the world solve their problems. It's up to your kids, if you raise them right, younger generations that are going to be, or are presently part of just about everything that's going on in the world right now. I think when you hit a certain age, you have a responsibility to yourself. How well you live your life, what moments that you create, for memory's sake, for your family, partner, whatever, wife. Good moments. I don't care if it's a good movie you share together, but to subject yourself to this crap on a very often basis is, well, there has to be a cutoff point, I guess I'm trying to say here. Everybody's been following, everybody's drama's on here, and they're getting off on that, but it's part of my point. Well, they're pointing a finger to you saying, you're not living the life you say you do, or you're not this person that you claim to be, or you are. It's what are they doing with their time and their life right now by talking about you or doing shows particularly about you. Okay, you think that they're living a quality life? Can you honestly say that? Let's say as an outsider that comes in and listens to all this shit. What do you think the first thing they're going to be saying? Well, for one, pardon me, I am eating my breakfast. Why do these people, inclusive of myself, why are they even bothering to talk about this crap? Why are they even bothering to take their nose and put it into somebody else's business? When we all know, number one, that life is so goddamn precious. And you'll notice, for sure, if you happen to have any kind of a life-threatening illness, then you'll really notice. But most people don't think that way. Whatever situation they're in, well, chances are they got themselves in that situation. If there's no remedy, well, then they do the best they can to get out of a situation that seemingly is, well, you can't turn it around. Let's put it that way. So I've been doing these uploads that you've been noticing rather than my live streams, because I really don't find a purpose to do live streaming. I've talked about this. But I think what I'm kind of doing is cleaning up shop. And I'm kind of saying, because I know it's coming to an end. I mean, totally. There were no comments, nothing. No response to anybody's comments on another show. It's coming down to that rapidly. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want to clean up loose ends. Because I do realize life is precious. And I do realize that I've got personally, I don't know about you, but I got personally some good things in my life. Remember what I said about just throwing out the wash water, you know? You're not going to drink it, right? You don't need to subject yourself to all this negativity unless that's something that you just, you live for, you know? It feeds you somehow. God, I've done enough of that. Nobody out there is going to say I haven't done that. Nobody out there is going to say they haven't done that. The fact that you're listening to my voice is because you've been following me for a long time, perhaps. Drama just isn't enough for you. Come on, get back on, do live streams, you know, let's proliferate this shit. Well, that's one way that I have control. See, I don't have to do that. Somebody wants me or anybody else to continue their live streams. It's not a benefit to anybody. Now, a lot of people are depending on their live streams to make ends meet. Everybody wants more money, especially when you're getting older. You know, something will come up and you might need the extra money for it. So I'm not like I'm not understanding why people who have developed a channel that has enough followers and has the ability to make some pretty damn good money. There's a guy, and it's called a show called Jenny Apple. And she's been documenting her cancer for the past several years. And they're making good money. They can make up to $27,000 a month, and that has nothing to do with side donations and so forth. Some people might say, yeah, the guy's taking advantage of his dying wife and taking advantage of that. Well, he's going to have a lot of expenses, and then there's the children involved. And you can't blame the show for making money. I scratched my head at one point because I have a lot of skepticism about a lot of things over on social media. That he's taking advantage of the situation, and I guess he is. The other part of me says, well, why not? Why not? For the kids' future, for their college, so forth. Why not? I kind of think it's too highly personal. I mean, it's up to this gal, Jenny Apple, as she's called. You can look it up and follow. She's got brain cancer and everything else, everything metastasized and all that. She's not going to live very long. But she wanted to document some of this for her kids, who are, just some young kids, I think 2 of them, and for her husband to look back on. So they went out and did some great things together. The minute she knew she had cancer, they started making trips here and there and create memories and stuff like that, which we should all do, okay? Let's take that advice, whether you had a life-threatening disease or not. Because anything could happen any moment in time, right? That's true. So yeah, they're making big money. And again, there's a part of me that, is so mistrusting of people. There's so many people have done so many fraudulent things to make money on here. They're using clickbait, to get people to come to their show, or to make up stories about people, to create drama, although it will affect greatly, in a negative way, the person that they're talking about and cause a lot of damage. They don't care. If it's going to get viewers to their show, and they're going to do shows about this person to attract, which is the only probable way that they could get anybody to come to their show, because they don't really talk about anything interesting, or they don't have anything to talk about at all, really. But let's degrade somebody, let's humiliate somebody, let's defame somebody, let's threaten somebody. Let's get a lot of action to come to our channel. Unfortunately, folks, hey man, this is part of our society, and it's just not here on YouTube. It's everywhere. Okay, somebody doesn't like somebody else, they want them to suffer as much as they can. Even if they didn't do anything worth that much effort that people will put in to make you suffer, even if they really did not commit any crimes, or there's just a victim of circumstance, as Curly would say. Don't matter. If they can get views to their shows, they can make more money. But, you go to this religious value thing too. What you do in your life is going to affect your afterlife. If there is an afterlife and you're going to be judged and all that great stuff, then maybe you should have a concern. Are you a Catholic? Are you very religious? Do you not understand that what you do in your earthly life is going to affect you in your unearthly life? Are you really that religious? If you are, and you actually go to church and hold it, why are you doing this? I mean, you have a belief in something greater than you, a divine power. Would that be correct? Wouldn't you think that although you're being judged on earth, you'd be judged after your death? Now, personally, for me, I'd rather not have, as Steve put it, the earth, the ground, as my roof. I'd rather be alive and enjoying life and not have the earth, the soil, as my roof. I'm not ready for that yet. Time comes, and it will for all of us. But to spend your time, like I've even done, to spend your time that you've done, talking about this guy and that woman and this man, and putting shows on about people all the time, I guess what's the point? Money? Or is it just attention? Look, I'm not going to go into all these psychological evaluations on what causes people to do this and their loneliness and so forth, and their misery and their own personal misery, why they do this stuff. We've talked about that countless times since I've ever been on YouTube. So there's no need to really elaborate on that topic anymore. I think it's maybe time to just really move on. I made all the right steps so far. I just eliminated. I got rid of my channel altogether. My channel, the original channel, don't exist anymore. Even if I want to come back to it, I'll probably I might be able to. Wouldn't even have the subscribership. Wouldn't probably be able to get monetized. Although that's happened once before and everything kind of came together when I decided to go back on and do live streams. But this time I'm not sure that's going to happen. Well, I'm sure it's not going to happen because I'm not going there anymore. But if I did decide to go there, I think that would be null and void. That would be probably no ability to do so again. On that note, it's a good note because I think it was meant, hey, I enjoyed myself all these years. For the most part, I actually did. I wouldn't have looked, hey man, I wouldn't have been on this long. I had to get some enjoyment out of there. Some enjoyment. But it comes to a point you say, man, just take care of business and kind of move on. I got good things going on for me here, and I'm going to appreciate every good thing in the world I have because I know how precious life is. Go listen to Jenny Apple. You might, there was another show, and what was his name? And I had followed a little bit of his show, that he was dying of cancer, and he went through all the shit. Chemo, everything he went through, how he was feeling, his thoughts, his girlfriend, all that stuff. And you have the right to do that. Your life has meant something. Your life has to come to some meaning. So I guess why not share it? Your thoughts, because it's going to be the last time you'll be able to do it, right? So I don't really blame people for doing shows when they got something mortally wrong with them. One level, I think it's kind of personal. Don't share your misery and your suffering with somebody. Somebody out there might be enjoying your misery and suffering. So I'm very divided on that. And believe me, there's nobody in social media that gives a fuck about you that much that you should be telling that much personal business to them and allow them to watch you suffer on camera and deteriorate until you die. That's the part that I don't like. And I kind of think that's the part that should be between you and your family. You can create videos that you could look at later, say your goodbyes, how much you love somebody. And even if you don't like somebody, you can leave a message for them too in regards to that. You got that right to do that. But I think to come on YouTube and just proliferate, your misery of suffering and what you're going through, I guess I really don't see that. Unless you had this wonderful, caring audience, and you know that most of your viewers were really people who have supported you for a long time, with donations. They've taken interest in your personal life, and they appreciate your family life, and they relate to it, and they've done good things for you. But to create a show like that, when your audience predominantly is a bunch of trolls that wish you croak, that's not worth it, man. Don't go that direction. Unless you're that popular, and you've got a totally 100% positive audience. I guess what I'm saying is that it's just a waste of time to even come on YouTube, even as an upload that I'm doing right now. But like I said, I'm cleaning up shop is what I'm doing here. It's time to concentrate more so on me and mine. And I guess I'm just trying to get things out of my system. Deservedly, because I have been on YouTube for a very long time, considering. I've been called every name in the book, every allegation in the world has been made against me, but I'm still here talking, walking. The ability to take care of myself, my family. I'm thriving until that day comes that I can't no more. But I never saw myself being on YouTube into a much later age. I think that would be ridiculous. Unless you had a popular channel and you really needed that income at an older age because you've had a lot of medical things to take care of and you need to keep the show going to make that extra money in because you knew that you were suffering some, constant and reoccurring or new illnesses. And you need that flow of money, okay? And that's under that circumstance, I can see that situation. But if it's not anything like that, I just don't see why anybody bothers. Now, we have some people out there that are not exactly the healthiest people in the world, but they make judgment upon you and how you live, or how they think you live, or how healthy or unhealthy you are. But a lot of these people have a lot of illnesses going on that they don't talk about. They have possibly a lot of illnesses from their own obesity, which has caused anything from heart problems, liver problems, kidney problems, and so on. There's a lot of people out there, and some of them that we know very, very well out here, are going through some of that shit right now. So you would think to yourself, why do they bother to put on shows like this and just keep on throwing the hate? No, these are truly hateful people. People say, oh, Frank likes to spread the hate on YouTube. How have I done that? No. A man has a right to defend himself and the honor of his family. Sometimes you just leave things alone. Say, fuck them all. But I got this constitution where it's like, hey, man, I'm going to let you know where it's at and get your ass straight on this. And I'm going to prove you fucking wrong. Don't have to, but that's my constitution. That's what I'm all about. Then if it gets further than that and gets ugly, then I take other steps and measures. Well, the best thing in the world is just to do in the past, is just to get the fuck off YouTube. I don't know how you guys do this day after day. I don't know how I did it. I look back now and I say, has it been that many years I've been associated with social media? I mean, really? I'm what age now? Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Really, I do feel like what the fuck. That kind of feeling. I've been feeling it a lot lately. Look, I had to do some things, had to take care of some things. I'm proud of myself for that. Somebody's getting the message very clearly. Maybe more than one. And I do feel good about that. Do I feel good about making somebody's life miserable after they tried to make mine miserable? No, I don't feel bad about it. An eye for an eye. Sometimes that's necessary. Have I done any crimes that are that bad on YouTube that's worth being threatened? No, I haven't. Come on, all right? All I ever did on YouTube is defend myself. You can take it any way you want or look at it any way you want, but it's all it's ever been. Self-defense. Somebody attacks you in the street, you're going to stand there like in a movie, and a fucking meteor is about to hit your head, and you say, oh, standing there looking at the meteor, or some monsters coming at you. You've seen this in a lot of movies, right? Sci-fi. Some monsters coming at you, and you're just standing there with your mouth open and you're not running while your friends are all running. You're standing there. No, you're going to fucking run your ass away, man. You're not going to stare there at the monster that's about to devour you and he has fucking razor sharp teeth. You take your head right off in one bite. But no, or as in the movies, the woman's always tripping. You notice in the movies, always the women always trip. And the other thing is that the black guy usually dies before anybody else. I don't know if you guys noticed this in the movie, but that's the way it is. But you know what? This is not a movie. This is real life. Okay, you had your fun. You experimented with social media. And you found out it's like a total fucking disaster. You didn't get what you wanted to get on there, but I guess in my case, I did get to a certain point where I wanted. It gave me an opportunity to talk about a whole lot of shit, man. Which is fun. I like sharing with people. I really do. The right people. Giving good advice, learning from my own experiences, bad or good. And I've talked about all kinds of shit like that, haven't I? But it comes a time when you're not appreciated that much. You got to say, okay, I did my job, and what more can I say about this and that? You're taking care of something, let something else take care of it for you. You've done what you can about something. Excuse me, it's out of your hands at that point. So, let it be in the hands of the people that are taking care of it. You've done your job, and that's all you can do. I've done my job on YouTube, and despite many people thinking I got all these haters out there, I really don't. It's a handful of people with multiple accounts. That's all it's ever been. I've gotten to prove it a couple of times, too. It's just a handful of people with a lot of sock accounts. Well, if I know that, why is that a deterrent for me of staying on YouTube? Because I don't need it anymore. I don't need it. I could listen to shows, I could listen to things on YouTube, not even the local genre. Still do that. But, as I said, being part of a club that would have me as a member, especially this kind of club, that's absurd. It's just absurd. I don't want to belong to an institution or anything either, Why would you want to be in an institution? Well, marriage is an institution, but you decide to get married, right? That's an institution. You committed yourself to something. Well, I'm not going to commit myself to this any longer, okay? A boat trip, a trip to another part of the country, perhaps. That might be very educational to some of my good viewers, some people who would give a shit about showing or seeing anywhere that we ever went. There is a possibility that we would put on some trips on here, if not just to prove that we're not exactly stagnant at home all the time on that living room chair constantly. We do things. Sometimes we do things that we don't talk about on here. Sometimes these are private moments that we don't want to share. There's certain things that I allow on YouTube for people to see, and there's certain things that I don't allow on YouTube. And there's been a whole lot. So you think that you know my whole life, but you really don't, because there's a lot of things I have not published on here and would never publish, because a lot of it is actually private. Something between me and my girlfriend, something we did out there, a place we went, experience we had. Yeah, I am private in that matter, and I've had a lot of that material, private material, that will never be aired on YouTube, no matter what. A small private vacation we've taken, whatever. That's between us. It's not for somebody else to see on there and abuse it. So contrary to what some people believe, we're not always sitting on a living room chair and contemplating our navel. It's kind of like not the way it is at all. I grab my cranberry juice here, which I haven't opened yet. So, you got questions about anything? Well, the resources on YouTube seem to be endless to find out anything that you need to know. Ask anyone. They know your life, right? They know when you take a shit. Well, they seem to think they do. They know everything about you. I mean, why do I need to do any more shows when everybody's an expert on my life? So as far as any future uploads, I think unless it's really important or it is something perhaps I want to share of an interesting place that I visited, it might be an interest, but that doesn't make sense either, because I took off my original channel with all the subscribers and all the videos. It doesn't make sense. If I wanted to continue in that direction, that's the direction I would continue. It's kind of like doesn't make sense to even talk about that shit. Right now, I'm just talking about the current issues going on. And I do feel I owe it to some of my audience out there to give you certain updates, to know the progress of certain things, but that's pretty much come to a head. There's really no more I could share. Now, you know my feelings about certain people on here, okay? You know everything I've done to try to remedy problems. You know pretty much the status. And the rest is going to be up to you, not to me. If you're that deprived of information, we got some real prime people out there that are really good double knot agents out there, you know, that'll tell you everything that's going down at any moment in time. Because they got that time on their hands to do the research. Because they're special people. I'm not special. You special? I never thought I was special in any way. Never did. Okay, finish my cranberry juice. Let it be, folks. Let what is, and things fall where they're going to fall. If it's meant to be something to happen, it will happen. If it wasn't meant to be, then it wasn't meant to be. I think that's the way everybody should look at life. Live for the moment, not for somebody else's moment. If you get my drift on that. Live for your moment while you have life in your system. You have breath, you could walk, and you can talk. You could think. You ain't got Alzheimer's or something, or become crippled or something. Maybe I'd understand if you were crippled or something, why you'd spend so much time on social media, because you can't go out anymore and join society because you have so many limitations. But a lot of you don't have limitations. Take advantage of the things that you can do in your life. Okay, as Peter V used to say, see ya, don't want to be ya.